Hello and welcome to I Am Geek, and this is episode 96. We're back here with you yet again. Say hello to Katrin and Chris, and I am Ryan. I don't know how you can say hello to us. Just shout out in your car, or if you're like walking around listening to us with earphones, just say, "Hey,
hey!"
I hear them.
I hear them in my soul.
I think you just hear voices in general, so that doesn't count.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I talk back to them. It all works out.
I'm back from my Disney trip. I survived. We're going to talk about that next week as a special guest because we were supposed to have a special guest on this week. He was here, and then my kids decided, let's not sleep tonight. So we're recording this a couple days later, and he couldn't be on tonight.
Blaming your kids. Man.
I am blaming my kids. It was 11:30, and he was still awake in the PM. Anyways, and my wife's out of town, so it's all me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Which we'll get to that because she was out of town for a couple of days during the Disney trip. But I survived. So we'll talk all about that with me and two kids alone at Disney with our special guest.
Oh.
Oh, who could it be?
So special?
I don't know. You'll have to wait and find out. But for this episode of I'm Geek, we're diving in head first. We all actually saw a movie that's in the theaters playing, and we're going to discuss that movie right now.
Once in a blue moon, it happens.
Yeah, you already know what the movie is because it's probably in the title of this episode. That'd be weird if I didn't put it in the title.
Yeah.
The title's just like, hey, we all saw a movie, let's talk about it, or something like that.
Hey, there's a banana. That's the title.
Anyways, we're going to talk about Captain Marvel today, and it's been out a few weeks, so there will be spoilers. Can we go ahead and say that?
Yes.
Sure.
We should say spoilers.
Spoilers ahead.
Spoilers.
So listen to this after you've seen it if you don't want to know.
Yeah. Or if you want to know, just go ahead and listen.
If you want to know, then have at it.
And just share it with everybody, and just listen to it multiple times, and give us a 5-star rating on iTunes. There.
For sure.
And done.
And done. But right before we get to Captain Marvel, we have an announcement to make. We're just going to go ahead and make it. Well, two of us have an announcement to make. We have been invited back to Comic Palooza for this year, and coming May 10th through the 12th, which is my birthday weekend, and that's what matters. My birthday weekend.
And also Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah, Mother's Day weekend.
It's Mother's Day weekend.
It's always Mother's Day weekend, not my birthday.
Yep.
That's right.
Anyway, so it'll be happening in Houston, May 10th through the 12th. So if you're in Houston or the surrounding area, come and see us at Comic Palooza. I think we're going to be doing like 4 or 5 panel things while we're there. Big stars.
Wow.
Might be dressing up on Saturday.
Yeah, I saw a picture of Chris's costume.
Yeah, so you'll have to come and see me in costume.
I'm trying to decide how I'm going to do that. Like, if we're at all these panels, am I just going to be like in a costume for like some of the panels?
That's how it's going to work for me.
That's the dress-up day, yeah.
With mine though, I don't think it's necessarily a costume. I think that's or just me in the future.
That's true. And the funny thing is, because we're a podcast, not many people know what we look like. So we could be like, oh, this is what we always look like.
That's right.
This is us. But the sad thing is, Katrin will not be with us because he has a wife. So.
He has a life.
Yeah, we've got some stuff going on that weekend. I'm really bummed though, because especially with all this stuff. But I was really excited to go before we were asked to do all that. So it's really extra bummed now. But I when you talked about costumes, I was excited about dressing up in Fallout gear. Like I was going to come up with some elaborate plan to make a Pip-Boy and have all that stuff. But
I guess you could.
Not going to happen.
You could dress up for Mother's Day.
Yeah, you
hey everybody! It's Fallout.
I mean, maybe your wife will like that sort of thing.
But we do have a Memphis Comic Expo that's in October that I'm going to try to go to. and maybe I'll dress up there.
Are you gonna try to get us in, or just you?
I don't think they so they at some points they said they were going to shut it down, and somebody
It's
bought
one
it.
of those. Okay.
Somebody bought it, and they're coming back, and they've got all these comic book artists that are going to be there, and it looks like it'll be pretty good. They've gotten this bigger space than they normally have, so it looks like it could be pretty decent. And the only thing is, I think it's going to be during a weekend that I have something going on. So I'm like, good grief, there's always something, you know. But
you just need to get less of a life.
I know. I just need to ditch all these people, I guess.
Yeah. You don't need your family anymore.
Yeah. So I'm jealous of you guys. So hope you all
Well,
have
we
awesome
want you to
time.
come down. I think you can. I mean,
I think so too.
just surprise your wife with the trip to Houston.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If it wasn't Mother's Day weekend, we would do it.
Who cares?
And it wasn't. We have a race that we're supposed to be in Friday night for our son's school.
A race.
Gosh.
A fundraiser.
You don't run.
I don't. But we participate and get a big hamburger afterwards or something. So
My one goal for Comic Palooza is somehow being face to face with probably the biggest actor on the planet.
the voice actors for Sailor Moon.
No.
Oh.
The one and only Billy Zane.
Ooh, the Phantom himself.
I want to run into him and like recreate the scene from like Zoolander with him. Think you'd do that?
Yeah, I think
Probably.
so.
When he played himself. I mean, he'll just have to play himself.
Yeah, that shouldn't be too bad.
You know,
I was thinking you wanted to like redo the scene from Titanic, where he's chasing you with a gun,
Oh.
which could happen.
It could happen.
What?
It's Texas.
Everybody's got a gun in Texas.
Yeah. We're not there though. Like the Comic Palooza, as well as most legitimate cons, very strict about their weapons policy, and like there's people everywhere checking. Is that a real weapon or is that a fake weapon?
Right, especially when people are carrying prop weapons.
Yeah.
Gotta check it in as you go in.
Because we were Deadpool. Well, you were Deadpool, Chris, and I was Deadpool. But
Off-brand Deadpool.
no, I wasn't off-brand Deadpool.
Yeah, you're the one from Kmart.
You're the ones that when you like go to like Mexico or something,
I
and you
was
want to buy a toy,
X-Force.
and it's
I was X-Force Deadpool. I was gray with the red eyes. But they kept like when we would walk past the security people, they're like, "Do you guys have any weapons that we need to check?" And it was like, "No, we don't have
Are
any
you gonna
weapons."
rob us?
Yeah. So hopefully I'll get to dress up too. We'll see.
Yeah, you should.
You should.
I'm
I'll be
gonna-
dressed up, so
I'm
I
gonna
don't
go
want to
as
feel
an-
like
yeah.
stupid. Then it's
Yeah.
just me dressed up.
I'll tell you that I'm dressing up, and then I'll be like, "Oh, sorry, I forgot it at home." I'll go as another obscure character that nobody will know, and they'll be like, "Oh, are you Skeletor?" Or
You could be Spider-Man with the paper bag over his head.
Good.
Yeah.
Just put a paper bag over your head.
That'd be cool.
Good. Well, I thought about being somebody because I know that you're somebody, but I don't want to give away who you are.
Oh.
But then I was like, I don't think I could pull that off. The only character from that anime that I know.
I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could do it. You could do it. You could do it.
I'm not shaving this though, so
You could do it without when he didn't have like a top, when he was like shirtless.
Oh, why you think that
Do
highly of me?
I don't think it's a good
Well, I mean,
idea for
if you want to build
anybody
art,
to go shirtless at the event.
Anyways, this is a very riveting conversation for people listening. Anyway.
Oh yeah. Comic Palooza.
Comic Palooza. So May 10th through the 12th, I'll be there. Chris will be there.
I'll be there.
Flat Catron will be there. We'll probably like make a cutout of him or something.
Yeah. I hope we can have some swag for you guys to hand out.
I thought you were starting to say Schwartz.
Schwartz. That would be cool if we had Schwartz that had the Iron Geek logo on them or something.
Yeah,
Hand out rings.
I do want to get some swag, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
We did buttons last year. We'll probably do some buttons this year. I want to do, since we're doing 2 rounds of, I guess we can announce it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Our battle royale with cheese that we've done on this show. We're doing that, a live version of that with some other podcasts, and they're going to be competing against each other, and we'll judge and all that stuff. I would like to do some kind of button or something that has that logo on it, on a like a wrestling belt or something.
Oh wow!
To give to the winners, you know.
Just go buy a regular belt at like Target and then put a button on it.
There you go.
If I had money, I would actually make a wrestling, like have one made, a wrestling belt. But then I wouldn't give it away. I would just keep it.
But you can make one out of cardboard pretty easily, I would think, and like print something out on paper that in that shape, in the middle, and or get it printed out nice, and paint it and all this stuff. I'll make one and send it for you.
Oh,
you probably do a better job than I would.
I don't know, maybe. If I can make one, I will. But I mean, or I thought like a button or a pin that they could just.
Yeah, we can make stuff. Yeah.
Have to wear.
Sticker Mule's got a lot more things that they make now. Like you can get coasters, you can get window clings. You got all kinds of stickers too.
Are they our sponsor? Is that our sponsor for this week?
They're not a sponsor.
Sticker Mule, the fresh maker.
But they have lots of cool stuff. Shout out to Sticker Mule. They are the makers of buttons and stickers.
Buttons. I wish we had I wish we like good Rhett and Link, Good Mythical Morning. They have all these super fans that like take clips of all their shows and put it together and make these like super cut. I wish we had like a super fan that took every time we had a not our sponsor fresh maker, and they could put all of those together in an audio clip. That would be freaking hilarious.
That would be funny.
So our super fans out there, just put that together. We'll be waiting.
You'll get a t-shirt
on shop.spreadshirt.com/IamGeek.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Well, I mean, it's our shop.
I mean, they kind of do. Yeah.
It's our shop, so I guess it is a sponsor.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I guess technically it'd have to give us money for it to be a sponsor. So
we
haven't got any money from it, so not a sponsor.
There's money sitting there from the shirts that we've bought. I still haven't set up. Anyways, we can move on. Buy some t-shirts.
Helps us
out. I'll probably make a battle royale with cheese t-shirts.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah.
And that would be a fun t-shirt.
That'd be fun.
Maybe I'll get me one to wear for the panels. Yeah. And it's cool. You could do I'm asking like they're our sponsor. Now on Spreadshirt, you can put not only print on the front, you can put on the back, on the sleeves, everywhere on the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So there's more you can do now.
Yeah, it's cool.
Anyways. So before we get to Captain Marvel, there's some sad news. We're going to get the sad news out of the way.
Oh, good.
So that we can cry, or at least I can cry, and mourn the death of one of my favorite TV shows. It's coming to the end. It's one of Chris's favorite too, but he's like way behind.
I'm like way behind, but yeah, it's one of those things.
You're the reason that it's going away. But you're not watching it.
No, that's not the reason.
So the 15th season is coming up, and it will be the last season for Supernatural, one of my favorite shows.
Oh.
I love that show. It's been with me for just about 15 years.
Nice.
It's
helped me through a lot.
Yeah. When I faced that Wendigo, I knew how to take it down because of that show. And I knew how to say Wendigo now because I was a Wendigo when I would read it in comics, but they would say Wendigo.
Yeah, well, they're...
They would know.
They're the hunters. They know.
Mm-hmm.
But Sam and Dean, thank you for bringing us such fun joy.
Thank you for bringing us joy.
But this just gives Jensen Ackles, who plays Dean on the show, this just gives him the opportunity to be the Batman that we all deserve and we all want.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, that's it.
Probably not.
We got a new series of Batman coming out with this guy.
I would love to see him as Batman. We've said it before, and I'll keep saying it over and over again.
Jared Padalecki as Robin.
No.
All right.
No. Who would he be in Batman? Got me. I don't know. I can't think of anybody in Batman that he would be.
Yeah. I don't know. It'd have to be a villain.
Yeah.
Be Hush.
Hush?
Hush. Maybe. I don't know. Well, with them ending and Arrow ending.
Yeah.
And they always, on social media, they're always like back and forth, and they're good buddies, like Stephen Amell and Jared Padalecki especially, and then Jensen Ackles. Really want them to be on each other's show and do a guest spot.
Oh, you posted that on our Twitter. Oh, not our Twitter. You posted it on your Twitter.
I posted on my Twitter, and I tagged I Am Geek. I did it like I was falling asleep that night, and it just popped in my head. Oh, it'd be cool that they could be these characters. And I was like half asleep, and I just reached for my phone. And I was like, "Hey, you guys should do this," and then posted it on my Twitter, and it actually got some likes and retweets. Yeah. But I think Stephen Amell should go on Supernatural and be a killer in a hockey mask because he was Casey Jones in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I think that'd be a great thing for him to do. And then on Arrow, I think Padalecki and Ackles should come on and be the Trigger Twins in the main Arrowverse universe, because in Elseworlds it was Stephen Amell and Grant Gustin. So they should be the Trigger Twins and have to fight Arrow. I think that'd be great, but
it's make it happen.
It's not going to happen. But it should.
It should, but it probably won't. Anyway, so next season is the last season of Supernatural. We got the end of this season, and then we'll have next season.
Yeah, I got to catch up on it so I can watch it live.
You do need to catch up. You've missed a lot of good stuff.
I have. I've watched the Scooby-Doo episode, and I've watched the episode where their dad comes back.
Oh, that was an
everything
emotional
else.
One. That made me tear up some.
Yeah, that was an emotional one.
Speaking of Scooby-Doo, they've recast they're rebooting it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't like the choices they made, huh?
I would have been involved in this movie, but I'm glad I'm not.
Oh. Wow. You would have been involved with Zac Efron.
Yeah, Zac Efron is fine as Fred, whatever. Like, I like the voice actors they have now in Scooby-Doo. I don't think there's a reason to recast them. Like, no one's going to go, I'm going to go see Scooby-Doo because Zac Efron's in it. No one's going to do that.
Maybe.
No.
I'm just kidding.
And no one's going to be...
I didn't read... I just saw the headline. So is it a it's an animated?
It's an animated movie.
I was hoping for it to be a live action.
No, so there's no point that it's that they're getting these people to do it. It's him as Fred, Amanda Seyfried as Daphne, which, I mean, is a fine cast, but again, Tress MacNeille, I think, does her voice, and she's freaking awesome voice actress. There's no reason not to use her. And then American Fiera, I think, is going to be...
I like her.
Velma, I like her. And they got Will Forte to play Shaggy. Will Forte is Shaggy. It's just...
It's probably because he's high all the time.
I don't... No, it's just not right. Like, it's not going to be Shaggy. Like, they did the movies, and they had... Oh, no, I can't even think of his name. Matthew Lillard as Shaggy. And, like, he actually really got in the role and, like, really did the voice really well. And, like, Casey Kasem was the original Shaggy. Mm-hmm. But at a certain point, he just couldn't do it anymore, and then he passed away, unfortunately. But Matthew Lillard actually took over doing the voice of Shaggy on the cartoons. And he sounds great as Shaggy. And yeah, there was like a big thing on social media when they announced who the voices were going to be. He sent out a tweet saying like, "Oh, thanks Warner Brothers for having me find out that I've been recast over Twitter."
Oh gosh!
Wow.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, so he wasn't even told that they were looking at other people besides him. I'm sure he's still going to be doing the voice on like the home videos and TV show and stuff like that. But I mean, he spent a good majority of his career now doing Shaggy, and that's just I don't know. But at least they're getting Frank Welker as Scooby-Doo. Yeah. At least they're bringing him because he does Scooby-Doo voice. He also does Fred's voice, so they've already got him there doing Scooby-Doo's voice. So why not just have him do Fred's?
They're doing it like, oh look, it's Zac Efron. People are gonna
kids these days they like Zac Efron.
They like the High School Musical.
He plays that serial killer now. He'll be great.
Anyways, well, let's get on. Let's get on to the main attraction here.
Yeah, I'll get off my soapbox.
It's Captain Marvel. We all saw it at different theaters at different times.
Yes,
I saw it first.
Actually, Chris and I almost saw it at the same time.
Yeah, we saw it about the same time.
Oh.
Yeah, he was about 30 minutes or so ahead of me.
Yeah.
Wow. I was on a different day completely.
Yeah.
Because I went to the $5 Tuesdays.
Yeah, we saw it together. We went to the same theater and everything.
We did. Yeah.
That's probably true.
I came down just to see him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We flew down and we're like, it's a few hours down the line, but and I was
let's just watch it a bit.
I sat next to strangers and watched it. Oh well.
So, yeah. Okay.
We did watch it together.
I know. You guys would never be in the same city as each other, let alone the same theater.
Wow. Man.
I read your contract. I know all the details. You guys
we're not allowed to be in the same city?
No, that you don't want to be in the same city.
Oh.
All right.
That's just because we're so awesome that putting the two of us together, one city can't handle it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. So, so we'll go through this. First, we'll do our overall reaction. We all love each other here. Geek, we're just being silly. Overall reaction. Then we'll sort of dive into the history of Captain Marvel, plot holes, retcons, which is a word that I just for some reason
as a whole
learned today. Listeners can see what I just saw, and that's okay.
It's some form of sign language to indicate a black hole.
Sure.
It's a hole.
Plot hole.
It's an a-hole. Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Jeez.
No, like never mind. Not like that. You dirty,
it wasn't that either.
You dirty.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy.
It wasn't that hole either. Anyways. Plot holes, retcons, which is a word that I didn't know existed until tonight. Today was the day that I learned the word retcon. And a retcon is... Go ahead, Chris.
Retcon is something to where like you have an established story, but then later on, in order to do something else within the story that doesn't quite make sense, you go back and rewrite the history in order to do what you're wanting to do in the story. That's
the word retcon. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the gist of it.
So, what did you guys think of Captain Marvel? There's been a lot of people bashing it, a lot of people loving it, a lot of people in the middle. What did you guys think?
I liked it. I thought it was good. I thought it was fun. But I just couldn't help but feel like it was almost like a filler episode, where it's just like, okay, we got Avengers Endgame coming. This is a character that's going to be in it. Here's your backstory real quick. And this is why she hasn't been here. And okay, that's all you need to know.
All you need to know. Well, that's all we need to know, I guess.
There you go.
Yep.
What do you think, Katrin?
I liked it a lot. It was a little bit tough at first getting past some of the I don't know how to put this. The whole the feminist kind of part of it, of saying you can't do this.
I have to edit that out.
No, I think it's a valid point. I'm not. I think women can be strong, and I don't know why they had to make the point of that. And it's like just have the movie. But I mean, that's part of it. I mean, it's part of her character, whatever. So I was just like, whatever. I'm gonna enjoy the movie. I just got past it, but it was good. One of my favorite parts of watching the movie is all of the '90s music, because I love '90s alternative music, and there was tons of that in there. And I thought it was fun. It got me excited about the next Avengers movie, and I'm not as deep in it as you guys are, but I started thinking about, oh yeah, this is that, and this is this, and putting it together, and there was a lot of funny one-liners and things in there that you can take out of that movie. So I thought it was fun. I liked it.
Good. My wife saw it too. She saw it separate from me, so everybody's seen it separate. And she said, that was so good. That was my favorite Marvel movie ever.
Oh, I don't know about that.
And I was like,
no, I wouldn't.
I was like, oh.
Tell your wife she's wrong.
Okay. She loved it. I liked it. I mean,
yeah,
I didn't have any problems with it. It was good. I thought it was a good movie. Yeah. I don't think it's the best Marvel movie.
It's better than Iron Man 3.
Yeah. Oh no. It's a good movie. Like, it's not. There's some Marvel movies where I'm like, no, that wasn't good at all. No, this was a good movie. It felt like it was shoehorned in, I guess you could say that.
Yeah.
Like it was like, we gotta get this out now.
Yeah, I liked it, but yeah, it was just it did feel like a setup movie.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I really liked Samuel L. Jackson in it.
Yeah.
And he was probably one of my favorite parts of the movie.
He was hilarious.
Him and Goose.
Yeah. Goose the cat.
Yeah, they were my favorite parts of the movie.
My favorite parts of the movie, like, I'll probably get backlash. Oh no, I won't get backlash for this because nobody talks on our social medias about it. My favorite parts of the movie was all the supporting cast. Brie Larson was great. I mean, fine, but
yeah,
the supporting cast made the movie.
Yeah, well, her character was, and it's not her fault. I think it's more the writing. Her character was more one-dimensional. Like, she didn't really necessarily grow in the movie. She was just like, from the get-go, she was a powerful, sarcastic woman. Like, she took control of the situation. She had powers, and she seemed to know how to control them. Like, she had like a mental block, but when it was unblocked, it was just like, okay, yeah,
I could do all this stuff.
It really,
yeah. My favorite character was probably the head. I guess he's the head. Skrull.
Well, he was the head group.
Oh my god, he cracked
me
up.
I had to look up who he was, and it was the guy that was in Star Wars Rogue One. Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love that guy.
Well, he always plays villains.
Wait, which one was he?
He was the main bad guy in Rogue One. So like, he was in the general's uniform or whatever you want to call it.
He was the one in charge.
He came and they were coming to pick up what's his name and on the planet.
And they parked really far away.
Yeah.
and walked slowly over there. Yeah, that guy. He always plays villains and stuff, I think.
Yeah, he
good. He was the guy from Ready Player One.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, what's my problem? Yeah. Okay.
Well, but you can't. I mean, with the makeup on, you wouldn't think of him until you see him, his face, and then you see it, and you're like, oh, that is that guy.
Well, because like he was in the movie, he disguises himself as the director guy over Samuel L. Jackson's character.
Yeah,
and that was actually him, just out of
costume. Okay. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Ben Mendelsohn. Yeah.
That's funny.
So that was him. It's just
he played
like,
Keller and Talos. Talos. I don't know. He was funny, and then like the whole scene where basically he was. I don't know if you caught it. He was mimicking the scene from Pulp Fiction.
I saw that on a
I saw that
Easter egg list.
Yeah. He's like in the suit. He's sitting there slurping the drink in the same pose as Samuel Jackson. I'm like, that's hilarious.
That is funny. But on that same note, Goose, is Goose a character in the comics?
Goose is a character in the comics. They changed the cat's name for some reason.
See, I wondered about
Gun.
Goose. Top Gun, yeah. There was a lot of like kind of things. What do you call it? Like throwbacks to Top Gun with all the planes and the just that whole
scene. Yeah.
the big high fives. No, I mean
killing Val
Kilmer. Just Goose, it was just like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So, anyways, I was curious about that.
Yeah. But so I liked it a lot, and I had fun, and it was great. Again, the supporting cast made the movie. Brie Larson was great with what she was given basically as a character. But I think I'll have to go back to a few episodes where I said this was going to happen, but we were talking about like how's this happen, and I called it. I said that one Jude Law, and his group, blocked her memories and all that stuff, and they were the bad guys. And
I remember that.
Yeah, I didn't remember that, but
I did say that, and you guys said no or something like that.
I don't remember.
We may not have been paying attention.
Well, it was at one point it was speculation that Jude Law's character was going to be Mar-Vell. Yeah. Which is from the comics who she gets her powers from and everything. Yeah. But they flipped it.
Yeah, what'd you think about that? Changing him into her, basically. I
didn't care about that. Like that didn't really bother me at all. Like I was just kind of whatever.
Because in the comics, that character carries on for a while after she gets her powers.
Yeah, in the comics, he was the first Captain Marvel. Yeah. He was created before Carol Danvers was. Yeah. In the comics, he was created by Stan Lee, and he was a Kree soldier who came to Earth to study their technology and grew to love Earth and betrayed his heritage or whatever, and go against them, which is kind of what happened in the movie.
Yeah.
But in the comics, it's something else that explodes. It's some other thing of technology, and it actually merges.
But yeah.
Mar-Vell's DNA with Carol Danvers, and that's how she gets her powers. Mm-hmm. But in this, they threw in one of their go-to MacGuffins that they love to use, the Tesseract.
Yeah.
Just like, how are we going to give her powers?
Tesseract.
Tesseract? Yeah, we'll go with that. It's worked before. Worked the 3 or 4
and that's
times.
The what stone?
That's
the blue stone.
The blue one. That's the space.
Huh.
The one to travel with that like opens the portals and
I don't remember, to tell you the truth.
I think it's a space stone. I think that's it because you use it to travel.
Well, I was gonna say they used that. It was the thing that powered that vehicle that could go the light speed, right? And so that makes sense.
Yeah, it's light speed technology. It was the one it first showed up in Captain America. It was what Red Skull was after, and in the end,
Space Stone.
Yeah. In the end of that movie, it like zaps him and shoots him across space. That's how he ends up guarding the Soul Stone for some reason. And then. Yeah, that was the big thing in the first Avengers movie that they're after, and now it was the big thing in this one. It was also the thing at the first part of. No, wait, no, that one. The one that gave the powers to Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. That was the Mind Stone in Loki's scepter. That's where they got their powers.
Did they get their powers from that, or did he just open their mind to the powers that they already had?
Well, they used it to like give them powers somehow. They didn't really explain it. It was just like
I thought it was something like you have these powers within you, or you have these powers, but you're not using them, or you don't know how to use them, and this is going to open your mind up to that, so you can.
I mean, it could
use your powers or something.
That could be an explanation now to somehow bring mutants into.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just making stuff up, probably. But yeah, so if she got her powers from the Tesseract, and that's the Space Stone, and now Thanos has the Space Stone, so can Thanos just control Captain Marvel?
Well, no. No, but she should have the power to destroy a stone now because Scarlet Witch can destroy a stone, and she was given her powers by a stone, so she should be as powerful as one of the stones now.
Well, she's pretty much the most powerful Marvel character.
Oh, anymore? Yeah, they made her. This seems like a recent development in the comics where she's like one of the most powerful characters.
When she went to the X-Men, she had she became what's her name? She wasn't called Captain Marvel. She was called.
She's gone by a couple different names.
Oh, I had it earlier. Where did it go?
It was either
Binary.
Binary, yeah. There's Binary, and she went by Warbird at one point.
So in X-Men comics, she was Binary, and she was like red with like flames coming off her head.
Yeah, she was more like a Phoenix type character. Yeah. That's where she ended up having like the zapping powers and stuff. When she was first in the comics, she didn't have that. She was like super strong, could fly. She was immune to poisons for some reason or something like that. Of course. I don't know.
I mean,
because that's a power you have.
Good power.
Yeah, and that's when she went by Miss Marvel.
Yeah, she was known Miss Marvel for a long time.
Yeah, because she had gotten her powers from Captain Marvel, and he was still around, so she was Ms. Marvel. And at one point in that's where Rogue from the X-Men actually got her super strength and flight powers because she was a bad guy at the time. She held on to her, and she absorbed her powers, but she absorbed it too long, and it put Ms. Marvel in a coma. She got those powers, and then eventually she woke up from the coma, but she didn't really have her powers that well. Somehow ended up in space until she got the Binary powers. It's a very convoluted story. There's a lot of retconning in her history.
Yeah, that retcon. Use that in the title.
Yeah, and then she suddenly shows up and
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, then she shows up again and as Warbird, and she's more of her like movie self, and then goes to Captain Marvel eventually. And she's not been the only Captain Marvel. There was another Captain Marvel in the movie as well. There was three of them.
Yeah,
so there was Marvel,
and then two more,
and then her, Captain Marvel, and then there was Monica Rambeau, which is the daughter that you see of her friend in the movie. As she gets older, she becomes superhero.
Now, who is that? Was she the Captain Marvel before? There's another Captain Marvel between Marvel and this Carol, Captain Marvel.
Yeah, she was the one in between.
She's the one in between.
Yeah, she was in between. So when they jump to the future now, well, our time, whatever, after Avengers Endgame, whatever, she would be an adult now, and she could be a superhero, so they could bring her into the movies as a grown-up superhero now.
That's true. I don't know if they will, but
they probably will. I think eventually. She has other names that she's gone by too, so they could give her a different name.
Be Rambo.
Rambo.
It's me, Rambo. That's my Sylvester Stallone. So let's switch gears a little bit and talk about the curious case of uh, of Agent Fury. Because, like I said to you guys, I said already that there's a lot of plot holes in this movie when it comes to the MCU as a whole. And I don't mean a couple of plot holes. There are a lot of plot holes in this movie, and a lot of them center around Mr. Fury. So let's get started. I don't know if you guys know many of them or any of them, or
we'll be surprised.
We'll be surprised. Okay, so first off, his eye, which I like how they made his eye go away or whatever, get hurt.
Yeah, it was funny.
It was funny.
Just a scratch.
But the timeline does not add up at all. At all.
Uh-oh.
If I'm gonna get hold on, let me put on my geek nerdy glasses here. If you notice in the movie, what was it? Winter Soldier. I believe it was Winter Soldier. Was it Winter Soldier? I think it was. They show a picture of him with the big bad guy of that movie, who's actually a Hydra agent, and they're shaking hands when Fury becomes the head of S.H.I.E.L.D.
No, yeah.
And he has two eyes. Clearly seen, two eyes. No scratches. No patch, nothing. A younger version of Samuel L. Jackson in the picture with both of his eyes clearly seen, not obstructed at all.
Maybe it was one of the glass eyes that he picked.
No. There was no scratches. There was no disfigurement. It was
an old photo. Like,
look at me.
Blurs.
And on top of that, that picture was taken. The picture that is shown in, I'm pretty sure it was Winter Soldier. He became the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. way before Captain Marvel movie time period takes place. And then this one, he's a level 3 S.H.I.E.L.D. operative.
Or was he?
I think, I don't know.
Yeah.
So their timelines are just sort of messed up. I think they wanted him to be in this movie and his character anyways, and they're like, well, we'll just forget all this other stuff that has been pretty much put into place over the years.
No one pays attention to that.
He, in one of the Iron Man movies, when he meets with Tony, he says, I've known your dad and know more about your dad longer than you have. That we've been working together for a very long time. But as a level 3 operative, he probably would not be working with Tony Stark's dad.
Well, he might have been, because he knew of where that Project Pegasus was.
Yeah.
And he clearly had access to it. And that's the what Howard Stark was in charge of at one point. So he could have then, and he was also he said he was a spy before he was a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. And there was that could have been involved with S.H.I.E.L.D. a little bit. I'm a little more forgiving of that
one. What else? There was the name. Well, the name for S.H.I.E.L.D. itself has been messed up all through the MCU, because if you remember when did Coulson come into play?
Coulson came into play in Iron Man 2.
Yeah, so Iron Man 2, he spouts out the name, and Pepper Potts says, that's too long. And by the end of the movie, he goes, we'll just call it S.H.I.E.L.D. then. And, so there's like this whole, every time, but that one's been messed up a bunch. Like, it's like, okay, where did S.H.I.E.L.D. come from? The name. But we knew that it came from long before that, because it was like Agent Carter, and it was like, and all this stuff. But, yeah. And then the Avenger Initiative, that was funny, because he got it off of the side of Carol's plane. That's more of a retcon. He's like, oh, let's call it Avengers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he sat on that initiative for 12 years. But I guess if he was a level 3, then it would make sense. But if he was the head of S.H.I.E.L.D., it wouldn't make sense.
He's writing a proposal. So
yeah.
Takes a while for that stuff to get approved.
So maybe he was like head of S.H.I.E.L.D. and then got demoted and then became head of S.H.I.E.L.D. again. And then got demoted again. I don't know. It was
well, these things happen.
It's a little bit of
maybe it's a multiverse.
That's your answer to everything.
Change that stuff up so much. Comics. Superman died how many times?
One major one.
Oh, okay. So here's the. So this is the Howard Stark thing. I knew I was forgetting something. Okay, so in Iron Man 2, Nick Fury approaches Tony Stark and he says that, revealing that his father was a founding member of S.H.I.E.L.D. and that Fury talks about knowing Howard Stark better than even Tony does. But the rub is Howard Stark was killed by the Winter Soldier in 1991. So that was this whole thing.
Oh.
That if it wasn't, Captain Marvel takes place in 1995, 4 years after his death, and it's been said in the plot synopsis that Nick Fury is just a lowly desk jockey on the verge of giving up at S.H.I.E.L.D. So how would a low-level paper pusher have any kind of interaction with one of the agency's most predominant figures, much less have a close relationship with them? He was just sitting behind a desk in 1995.
Maybe it was a desk that was in the room next to where Howard Stark worked.
Maybe so. He just listened in. He's like one of those guys. Oh yeah, I'm best friends with them, with Howard Stark. Yeah. We're buddies.
Yeah. Like we'd hang out all the time.
Or maybe he's just playing. He's just playing this ruse with Carol Danvers, saying that he is just lowly desk jockey when in actuality he is the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, who knows? Probably not though. It's a movie. I mean, who cares?
When it all comes down to it, it doesn't really matter.
The one thing in the movie that kind of bugged me a little bit, it's fine that they did it. Where the Skrulls in the comics, they're like bad. They're evil. What they do, they go and conquer worlds. They like infiltrate them and conquer them. That's what they do. And the Kree aren't really good either. It's two bad groups of people fighting each other, basically to conquer Earth and everything, and neither one of them's good.
Yeah.
But in this one, they changed it to where the Skrulls were more of like, like good people just trying to like find a home, which worked for the story and everything. But like,
I liked it for this story, but not necessarily the story of the
as a whole
of the MCU.
Yeah. I mean, they could spin it to where it was like just that group of Skrulls, or groups that are good and groups that are bad, and this was a good group and everything. Yeah. But this made it seem like all the Skrulls are good. And one of the best storylines in the Marvel Comics is called Secret Invasion, and that's when the Skrulls have infiltrated like everything, like every supergroup. They've like kidnapped superheroes, have been able to adopt their powers somehow, and because they can't really copy powers in the comics. There's only one of them's been able to do that. That's a Super Skrull, and he copies all of Fantastic Four powers.
You guys keep talking, keep going. I've got to go check on my son real fast because my wife's out of town. I'll be back. You guys keep talking though.
Okay. But yeah, so they do that, and so the Skrulls kind of almost conquer Earth because of that. And they can't really do that story as right now unless they retcon it. It's like, no, it's just that group of Skrulls. They were okay.
I think
they're pretty good people.
I think that's what they're going for. But yeah, it does seem like they're saying, "Oh, all scrolls are good." You just you're misunderstanding their purpose in here, but I don't know. There's probably some political reason behind it.
It seemed a little bit like they're kind of hinting a little political thing in there.
I could think of some things, but I won't say.
Yeah, I know.
So we'll see.
They've mentioned that like the next Captain Marvel movie they're doing might not necessarily take place in present time. It could take place in the past as well.
Oh wow!
So like, it would be interesting to see her like off planet fighting within this war, and within that maybe she discovers that the Skrulls have bad factions and
sure
they could turn on her or something. That would be.
There's probably some reason why that happened the way it did. In the grand scheme of things, like there's going to be something that happens in the next movie. Maybe it's the next movie or another one where it that's important to know or whatever. But I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But it was interesting. I didn't expect that turn of events, and I thought it was good. It was but it was kind of weird because you're like, who do you trust now? They look terrible, and you think these other guys are, because like you like the Kree people, like they have these awesome characters and awesome abilities and things, and it's like these guys are really cool. That one with the sniper, like you're starting to get connected with them, which I mean that was the point of it. They wanted you to get connected to those and think one way. It's like watching an M. Night Shyamalan movie or whatever. You're like, oh, what in the world?
They M. Nighted us.
Yeah, that's right. So, I mean, that's probably just the point of it or whatever, just to have a twist. But I mean,
I mean, to me, it was like I think they could sound a twist because I mean they had Ronan, who was the villain from the Guardians of the Galaxy movie in there.
Yeah,
and he's bad.
Yeah,
and but he's kind of like a faction of the Kree that's like extremist almost.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because there are some good Krees too, right?
Yeah, because like Marvel was good,
right?
And that's and you kind of led you to think like Judd Law was good, but like unfortunately, like if you know some of the comic characters and stuff, you knew that her team, like, they weren't good people.
Right. That was what I was thinking earlier. Is like I didn't know anything about it going in, as a non-comic book guy. It was really, I was in the dark and like, oh my gosh, these guys are the good guys and these guys are the bad guys, and this is how this is going to be. But I'm sure there were plenty of people who were like, oh, I know how this is going to go. Brian's back.
I'm back with my son. He's awake. Right. He said, shh. I told him, shh, be quiet as we finish up. So anyways, I missed what I was saying, but you don't have to recap it because the listeners heard.
We weren't talking about you at all, so it's fine.
Not at all.
So where are we at in the conversation here?
Or we're just talking about the twist and about the Skrulls and the Kree and just kind of some background on that. So,
I mean, like I said, I liked it as for this movie, not necessarily the whole thing. What do you think of the end credits? There's always mid-credit, end credits. Yeah. What do you think of those things?
Yeah, it was. I thought it was kind of weird because it was it felt like it was just a scene from the next movie, and you're just like, oh, well, here we go.
I think it was. I mean,
I think it was. Yeah.
That's what the Winter Soldier one turned out to be. It was just a scene from the next movie. But yeah, I wish they had reversed them. And put the one at the end first, because like the one with her showing up at Avengers like base or whatever was cool. It was fun. But then the one at the very end was just the cat puking up the Tesseract. I was like, I waited through the rest of the credits just for this.
I didn't see that. I thought that was the only one.
Oh, you didn't see the one at the very end?
Oh,
Well, that's how they
no.
that's how they usually do it though, because that's how they did it with Guardians of the Galaxy. They had the good one, and at the very end was just Howard the Duck sitting there drinking. I mean, that's how they usually do it. The very end one is usually just like a silly throwaway one that's just sort of for fun.
Well,
that's annoying.
Yeah. That's all right.
But I mean, yeah. Again, it was just basically a scene from the next movie. It was funny because it's like a pager, and they're sitting there sort of like, what? What's
what
this?
Is this thing?
What is this thing? What
that was funny. How do we can't keep power to it.
Or just put some double A's in there and it power it up.
It was made in 1996. I think they could somehow jury rig it to work again. They got Rocket Raccoon around somewhere. I think he can get it to work.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. Oh well. But yeah, it was fun. Her showing up. A lot of people were thought she looked weird or something. Her hair looked weird or something. I don't know.
She had longer hair.
Yeah, she had longer hair. So I mean,
it's been a few years. So
a few.
Yeah.
But she still pretty much looked about the same, which I guess that character doesn't age much, or
the Tesseract, it took away her aging.
Oh.
Or is it the Kree blood?
It could be the Kree blood. Yeah, that's how Kree blood works.
Marvel aged.
Well, I mean, she could have been like super old though. She was like 500 something.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll bring all this up in the next installment.
Oh, I'm sure they'll explain everything away with one sentence. Like, you don't look that old. Kree blood.
Yeah.
Oh, we're playing telephone. What's he saying?
Sorry, man. Hold on. What did you say? You're whispered again. Oh. I can't. You want to tell him? Just talking to the microphone. You don't want to talk to the microphone? Okay. Anyways. So overall, good movie? Good movie?
Yes.
Yeah, good movie.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I wouldn't mind seeing it again.
Oh, yeah, I want to see it again.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it again.
Probably not in theaters, but... I don't know. By the time that comes out, though, probably none of the Disney stuff will be on Netflix. So we'll be able to watch it on Netflix because all the Disney stuff is going away from Netflix.
Yep. Oh, and I don't know if you guys saw. It's definitely for sure that the actors that play Daredevil and Luke Cage and Iron Fist are no longer going to be playing those characters because they're having a prop auction for all those shows where they're selling off all the costumes and all the weapons. So those things are dead.
Or maybe they're just getting new ones.
So sad.
No,
they're becoming animated.
They sold off it all.
Yep. CGI.
Even Grant agrees. He's shaking his head. No.
You want to play with us?
There's some toys.
There's tons of toys in this room.
Look, shiny thing, go.
Anyway, well, that's sad that will no longer be. But I mean, is what it is. But Deadpool will still be around, so
yeah, all that matters.
That's true.
Because the Fox merger is now complete. Yeah, I can mention that towards the end here, which is funny, which we'll talk about more next week. But when they announced that it was pretty much wrapping up, like the music on the Disney buses suddenly became Fox music. Like there was The Simpsons was playing on one bus I was on. It was funny. Like Halloween was playing on one bus I was on, that theme to Halloween, which was creepy. We can talk more about that later. But so the Fox merger is complete. So that means Deadpool will be in the end credits of Endgame, right?
Oh yeah. He'll be a major character in the movie now.
Yeah. Yeah, they changed it all up at the last minute.
Yeah.
I wanted to appear like they can still do this, but they won't. I want it to appear like in like a funny end credit scene, like the cat at the very end. He just runs in and goes, "Oh, sorry, I'm here. Sorry, the merger took longer than I thought it would be. Sorry, I'm here now."
That'd be hilarious. In the Avenger like suit, like the space suit that they have.
Suit, yeah. Sorry, guys. The merger took longer.
I'm here. It's okay. We could do this. Let's do this. We got this. Take on Thanos. Take him down.
It would be hilarious. They won't do it, but it'll be hilarious. Now, those suits that they're in that trailer look like the suits that Hank Pym wears in Ant-Man and Wasp, right?
It's similar looking. So
They're
that's
the same colors.
That's a speculation that they'll be going into the quantum realm. Just put quantum in front of everything.
Yeah. Quantum. Which I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp again the other night. To catch back up, and it still held up.
Yeah, it's good.
Still good. His buddy that runs the security agency, still my favorite character. He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he was funny. The extra scene in that one is, of course, some people floating away in dust, right?
Yes.
That does look a little weird, didn't it? Like the people that were kind of disintegrating. I don't know. It just didn't seem the same as the Avengers dust. I don't know.
Different animators.
Yeah.
Different studio.
It was kind of funny. It was like, oh, that looks different.
But with that merger though that happened, I used to be a Disney animator.
Used to be. Does that count?
I don't think it's grandfathered in. Is that
retconned. I've been retconned into being a Disney animator now. They own pretty much all the movies that I worked on now.
This is true.
There you go.
This is true. Well, you guys, I'm trying to think of anything else about Captain Marvel. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
It's good. Go see it if you haven't seen it. Support your local movie theater. I don't know. Sure.
Support Disney. They need your money.
Just go to Walgreens first. Make sure you get your candy from there.
Yeah, Disney needs your money because they're just bleeding it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so next week we'll have our Disney episode, and then we'll have a Umbrella Academy episode coming up. But anyways, so until next time, this has been I Am Geek. You want to say bye?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And that's a bye from Grant. And we will talk with you next week.